And here's just the way astrology works in everyday life that people don't realize. Our 7 days of the week, we have 7 days. Why do we have 7 days? What is that based on? Well, there's 7 lunar bodies out there that we can see without a telescope. In the 1700s, we had telescopes, and we found out that there was Uranus, and there was Neptune, and there's Pluto, and there's all this other stuff. Before that, Saturn was the last planet, as far as we knew. That was the last visible planet. We had the Sun, we had the Moon, and then we had 5 planets. We had Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay? So there's your 7 planetary bodies. And our 7 days of the week are named after those. And just by looking at English and Spanish spellings, we can see that pretty clearly. Sunday, pretty obvious, sun. Monday, lunes in Spanish, lunar, moon. Okay? The Spanish spellings make more sense Tuesday to Friday, like martes, miércoles, jueves, and viernes. Martes, Mars, miércoles, Mercury, jueves, Jupiter, viernes, Venus. And then Saturn Day looks all right in English. So there you go. Here's your 7 days. And it's really interesting to note how our minds, our filters are kind of wired to play with these energies on those certain days, the way they're set up. And what I mean by that is the archetypes that are represented by these planets, like what those planets represent in you. The sun is the true inner self, like we said before. It's that pure creative expression. Okay? That's what the sun is. Just think of it, the center of our solar system just emanating itself, and it's giving life. Okay, that's the sun. What do we do on Sundays? That's our day. That's our day to do our thing, right? That's our day to be free, to have nothing on the agenda but to enjoy ourselves. That's the sun, just being the sun, right? The moon, what that represents in astrology is the unconscious side of ourselves we don't want to deal with. What do we do on Mondays? We don't want to deal with it, right? We hate Mondays. That's how we treat it. It's like we're almost wired to treat it that way, you see? And then Mars deals with like action and initiative and courage and facing the day with courage. By Tuesday, we're over the whole Mondays thing. We're like, we got a whole week ahead of us. Let's get going. We get to work on Tuesdays, don't we? Mercury is the archetype that deals with communication. So it's a big one in relationships, which gets ignored. Huge. You can get all kinds of information, whether it's a romantic relationship or a business relationship or whatever relationship it is. Mercury's awesome for relationships. But anyway, Mercury is kind of the courier. It's like the mailman. It's a very neutral energy where some are like sun is very masculine, moon is a feminine, Mars is masculine, Venus is feminine, Mercury's neutral. It's very like a neutral gender kind of a energy. It's about the go-between. That's why it deals with communication. It's about taking what is, assimilating it, and spitting it out in a different way. So what I'm doing right now is very mercurial. Okay, it's a very mercurial activity. And what do we call Wednesday? What's the nickname for Wednesday? Hump Day. It's taking us from the beginning of the week to the end of the week, right? Then Jupiter. The archetype for Jupiter is positivity, optimism, forward thinking, future. What do we start thinking about on Thursdays? The weekend. All right, and then we get to Venus on Friday. Venus represents what we value, and so underneath what we value, we have what we value and who we value. What we value is reflected in what we pay for, how we get paid for things, and who we value is relationships. People that we like, what we prefer. What do we do on Fridays? We get paid and we go to dinner with our honeys, right? Okay, and then Saturn deals with obligation, what needs to be done, what we don't want to do, what we just have to do, and we're just grinning and bearing it. And Saturday is a day that we take care of all the things we couldn't get done during the week. We just finish it up so we can have our Sunday to ourselves, right? There's your days of the week. There's astrology. You don't even realize it's happening. That's one of those eye-openers that I like in a lot of ways.